Hello and welcome to Healing Sleep Stories, where you can relax into the sound of my voice. And tonight, we're slipping into gold, not coins, not bling, just that soft, glowing warmth that starts behind your eyes and spreads gently through your chest. Because let's be real, today probably squeezed the life out of you, and now you deserve peace. So, before we drift off, feel free to like, subscribe, or comment with your city and time, just if it feels right. Now, dim the lights, maybe turn on a fan, and let you start with a breath. That's all. Not a deep breath, not a perfect breath, just a breath. The kind that slips out when you stop pretending to care about anything but being horizontal. And as you exhale, a soft shimmer of golden light pulses at your feet. It doesn't come from a lamp or the ceiling or anything that should be glowing. It simply arrives, like a friendly sigh from the earth itself, a hush that says, "There's nothing left to do but melt." You watch it rise, gently, slowly. It wraps around your ankles first, like sunlight touching water in the early morning. It's not hot. It's not heavy. It's warm the way memories are warm, familiar, safe, a little fuzzy at the edges. Your calves sigh. Your knees forget about the stairs you took two at a time. The golden light climbs higher, swirling in lazy spirals, and now your hips, your belly, your chest begin to hum with the same hush. Everything about you dimming down like sunset over a quiet lake. Here's a trail beneath you now, a golden one, of course. But here's the odd part. You're not walking on it. You're being carried, not by hands, not by wings, by stillness. It moves slowly, like a cloud drifting low to kiss a mountainside. You float forward, limbs loose, jaw slack. Your body is here, and it's not in charge anymore. Which, let's be honest, what a relief. The path widens. On either side of you, tall, whispering trees that look dipped in molten gold. Their leaves shimmer like sequins, but when they fall, they land silently, as if the air itself caught them mid-descent and cradled them down like lullabies. You hear something ahead, not footsteps, not voices, just presence. That sense that someone or something is waiting, calm, patient, like the way an old book waits on a shelf. It's been expecting you. And then you round a slow corner in the golden path, and there it is, a pool, perfectly still, not water, not exactly. It moves like water, glows like firelight, but has the silence of sleep. You hover at its edge, and when the golden shimmer kisses your toes, it doesn't startle, it invites. So you step in, first one foot, then the other. The sensation, Imagine dipping into a dream where your skin and soul are the same thing. And everything you're not, stress, pressure, awkward office conversations, just peels away. Now pause there for a second. You know how archaeologists once found an ancient Egyptian scroll with a map of the underworld? Like a legit illustrated guide to where souls go. And right in the middle of that scroll was a golden river. Some say it was symbolic. Some say it was literal. Historians still argue whether the river of Ra was metaphor or mystery. Either way, you're floating in something that feels eerily similar. You're not dying, of course, unless by dying we mean melting into peace so good it should be illegal. You drift. No paddling, no thinking. Just a slow swirl through a golden current, surrounded by a hush so complete it becomes its own. And music. And just when you think you might fall asleep right there, something shifts. The light changes. It deepens from sunny gold to a richer amber, like the hour before sunset when everything looks better than it really is. Even that weird pile of laundry in the corner starts to look romantic. The path begins again, now leading up a gentle slope. And though you're still floating, you feel a little tug in your chest. Like something, some part of you didn't know was tired, is ready. You drift up the hill, slowly, and then you see it. A doorway, carved into the side of a hill, draped in golden vines. It pulses, not threatening, not flashy, just breathing, as if it's alive, as if it recognizes you, as if it's been waiting. And something odd happens. You remember something. A dream you had when you were 6, maybe. You were in a garden or a temple. You held a lantern. You were glowing too. Weird, right? But also fitting. Because now, as the golden vines part and the doorway swings open, you know exactly what's inside. It's not just peace. It's not just rest. It's not even sleep. It's you. The you who remembers how to breathe without counting. The you who doesn't perform rest, who actually feels it. You cross the threshold, and the light closes behind you, like curtains at the best kind of show. The kind where nobody claps, but everybody leaves feeling lighter. And just before the light dims completely, you hear a voice. Not mine, not yours. Older, it says. Welcome back. Then silence. Then a faint smell of honey and warm stones. You smile. Even if your body doesn't move, your breath deepens, your eyelids get heavier, golden light curls up beside you, not to wake you, but to keep watch, because the story's just beginning. The silence is different here, not empty, not hollow, but whole, like being wrapped in the softest blanket that was also somehow knitted out of time itself. The golden light has settled now, not gone, not faded, just softened into a gentle glow that seems to come from everything and nothing. The walls, the ground, even your eyelashes might be glowing, not that you're opening your eyes to check. Why would you? You're inside something, but it doesn't feel enclosed. It feels expansive, like a breath that just never ends. And then you realize you're in a garden, not a manicured backyard garden with little gnomes and overly ambitious tomato plants. No, this garden feels ancient, sacred, as if it was planted by the sky itself. Tall trees with golden bark twist gently toward the ceiling, or maybe the stars. Their leaves shimmer faintly in the warm glow, like gold-dipped feathers. The air smells like lavender, citrus, and some herb you can't name but want to rub all over your soul. You're not alone, but nothing is rushing you. Everything here has the energy of no big deal. You could float, you could lie down, you could nap in a hammock made of moonlight. The garden is okay with all of it. But eventually, because curiosity still lives somewhere in your chest, tucked between your lungs like a folded note, you begin to move. Not walk, just glide. Over soft moss, beneath archways woven from vines that bloom in the dark. Every step releases a quiet sparkle, like you're dusting the ground with tiny dreams. You round a curve, and there it is, a fountain, not gushing, not showy, just dripping slowly, steadily, into a pool of golden nectar. And standing beside it, an old woman. She wears a robe the color of candlelight, and she hums a tune that you know but can't name. She doesn't look surprised to see you. She barely glances your way, actually. Just gestures to the edge of the fountain and says, "Sit. The garden knows what to do." So you do, and when you sit, something shifts in your spine, like a gear turning back into place. You didn't know it was out of alignment, but now that it's clicking, you feel it in your teeth. The woman begins to speak, not loudly, but her words land like warm stones on your back. "There's an old story," she says, "about a tree that bloomed only when someone truly rested beneath it." She pauses, watching the golden petals drift from the sky. They tried everything: prayers, rituals, pilgrimages, but nothing worked. Until one night, someone fell asleep beneath its roots. No effort, no intention, just sleep. And in the morning, blossoms everywhere. You nod, or maybe you just think about nodding. Same thing here. That tree, she says, still grows. Right there, she points behind you. And of course, it's there, huge, golden, glowing, quietly bursting with blossoms that fall and vanish before hitting the ground. You look back at her. She's smiling, but her eyes are sad in a knowing way, like she remembers what it's like to forget how to rest. Then she adds, "Funny thing, the Romans had something similar." You blink. "Wait, what?" She chuckles. "Oh yes, a ritual bath, taken at sunset, surrounded by golden lanterns. They believed it wasn't just about hygiene. It was about cleansing the day's weight off your mind. You let that image bloom in your brain. Lanterns swaying in a warm Italian breeze. The scent of oil and rosemary. Men in togas sighing deeply as the day's chaos melted from their bodies. Historians still argue whether the baths were more spiritual or social, she says. But I say, why not both? You smile. That tracks. You could use a golden bath right now. As if on cue, the garden responds. A shallow stream begins to glow beside the fountain. You stand, follow its lazy flow. It leads you through a veil of mist. And on the other side, a golden soaking pool. No walls, just light. Steam curling like daydreams. Stones warmed just enough to cradle your tired limbs. You step in, and oh, if peace had a temperature, it's this. Your muscles, which you previously thought were doing fine, thank you very much, let out long, silent sobs of relief. Shoulders, gone. Neck tension, evaporated. That weird knot in your back you've named Steve? Yeah, Steve's out of here. You sink in. Time stretches. Maybe minutes pass, maybe hours, or maybe it's only been 37 very relaxed seconds. You don't care. The garden hums around you. Somewhere a chime rings, clear and soft, like a wind whispering through a wine glass. And then a small creature appears at the edge of the pool. No bigger than a cat, shaped like a fox, maybe, but its fur is made of curling threads of golden silk. Its eyes are soft light, and in its mouth it holds a scroll. You reach out, take the scroll, open it. It reads, in looping ancient script that somehow you understand. You blink once, and the creature bows, then vanishes in a puff of shimmering pollen. Okay, sure, that happened. You exhale, slow, slow, slower. Your breath trails behind, and you like a ribbon of gold. Everything's quiet again. Even your mind has stopped narrating your grocery list and replaying that conversation from Tuesday where you maybe said something weird. The pool grows still, and then it lifts you gently, effortlessly, the golden garden parts. You are carried once more, this time through a tunnel of trees that whisper lullabies. You swear one of them tells a joke about a giraffe and a philosopher walking into a nap. You smile, but don't bother trying to remember it. Sleep is funnier anyway. And just before the garden disappears behind you, the voice of the old woman drifts in. You're already healing. You just had to let go. You drift forward, toward light, toward the next place. The air tastes like honey and pine. The wind hums like the purr of a great cat. Your body is water. Your thoughts are feathers. And ahead, a bridge, gently arched, lined with glowing lanterns, and someone, maybe two someones, waiting in the middle. But that's for next time. For now, you float, you exhale, you smile, you let go. The bridge doesn't ask you to walk. It just welcomes. You glide toward it, wrapped in that familiar golden hush, your body barely brushing the mossy path as you go. Everything around you pulses with quiet, a deep kind of quiet that makes you realize how loud the world usually is, even the quiet parts. And this bridge, it isn't just a crossing, it's an invitation. Soft stone arches beneath your weightless feet. Lanterns float along both sides, bobbing gently, suspended in air. Some glow warm amber, some flicker in soft rose gold. One flickers like it's trying to wink at you. Rude, honestly, but charming. Midway across, you notice them. Two figures. They're waiting, standing by a taller lantern at the bridge's crest. One is tall and lean, the other rounder and shorter, wearing something that can only be described as wizard chic. They don't speak, they just nod as you arrive. The kind of nod that says, "We've been expecting you, but no pressure." They are lantern keepers. Not keepers of fire, not guards, just watchers. Tenders. They make sure the light keeps glowing, because in this place, every light has a story, and they've kept them all. The tall one gestures to the lantern in the center. "This one's yours," he says, voice like a cello played underwater. You glance at it. The lantern sways slightly in the breeze. The glass panes glow dimly. Inside, a swirl of golden mist, flickering with images, flashes of memory. There's your third grade desk. There's your old dog snoring under a table. There's a grocery store aisle, a sunset you forgot, a joke someone told that made you wheeze laugh for 10 straight minutes. Not everything has to be profound, the round keeper chuckles. Sometimes the soul glows brightest from nonsense and naps. You smile. You don't have to touch the lantern. It touches you. A warmth hums from your chest outward, and you remember something you hadn't thought of in years. Being carried to bed, too sleepy to brush your teeth. Head against someone's shoulder. The soft hush of night. That moment just before the blanket's tucked in. That memory, it's part of your light. You close your eyes. The bridge beneath you pulses. And then it changes. You're still standing, but now the bridge is made of something different. Time, maybe, or memory. You're walking forward through layers of yourself. A birthday cake with 5 candles. A college dorm with mismatched sheets. A late-night bus ride where your headphones saved your sanity. And then a Roman courtyard. Yep, you blink, but it doesn't go away. There are stone columns wrapped in ivy, low fountains gurgling, lanterns hanging from trees that aren't supposed to glow, but do. And reclining on couches, Romans, robed, relaxed, mellow. One of them notices you, lifts a goblet lazily. You're just in time, she says. For what? She grins. For the nap. Apparently this is a conaculum dormitum, a rare Roman tradition, blending dinner, storytelling, and sleep. They'd recline on you cheese, eat figs and honey, share tales until the stars appeared, then just drift off, mid-sentence under lantern light. It sounds made up, but historians still argue whether these sleep feasts were social invention or spiritual ritual. You take a seat. A cushion molds to your body like it's been waiting centuries. Someone hands you a fig. You don't eat it. You just feel it. The texture, the coolness, the way it makes your hands reel in a dream world. Then the stories begin. One Roman tells of a philosopher who insisted all great ideas came from dreams. He'd sleep standing up in alleyways. He once claimed a god whispered the Pythagorean theorem in his ear while he was snoring. Another guest laughs. There's a whole sect of us that believes dreams are more truthful than memory. Someone else adds, dreams don't lie, they just edit for drama. You lie back. The fig is forgotten. Your thoughts drift with the stories until everything blurs again. The Roman courtyard fades and the bridge returns. You're almost across now. The lantern keepers smile at you again, proudly, like teachers watching a student finally get it. The round one leans closer and says, the mind needs rest to remember, and the soul needs stillness to glow. And with that, they turn and walk away, vanishing into the shimmer. You reach the end of the bridge, and suddenly, the sky opens. Not dramatically, no thunder or curtains or epic music, just a soft widening, and what you see ahead, a field of stars, not above you, beneath you. You're standing on the edge of what looks like a galaxy poured into a meadow, golden grass, soft wind, but the ground glows with constellations. Stars blink in the dirt. You take a step. The stars don't vanish. They pulse under your feet like fireflies with secrets. You walk into the field. Each step deepens your calm, like descending stairs into a pool where every level is slower than the last. And somewhere in this slow swirl of golden grass and stardust, you find a circle of stone. You sit in the center. A breeze moves through you, not around you, through you. It says nothing, but you understand it completely. You close your eyes, and your thoughts, they don't stop. But they stop mattering. They play in the background like elevator music in a dream you're already leaving. The stars beneath you spin slowly. You don't move, and somehow you feel like you've traveled 1,000 years. There's a story about monks somewhere in the 12th century who believed that sleep was the closest thing to visiting heaven. They'd time their sleep with the moon's cycle, believe dreams could cleanse sins, and design prayers to be whispered in half-sleep states. They called it Nocturna Gratia, the grace of night. You wonder if this is what they meant, this soft unraveling, this deep remembering, this bridge that didn't just cross a gap, but crossed you from tension into tenderness. You exhale. A single star beneath you pulses like a heartbeat, and your breath matches its rhythm. The phi, eld sways, and the light holds you. The golden field begins to dim, but not like lights turning off, more like candlelight at the end of a long evening. Still warm, still present, just easing into hush. You rise, or perhaps you're lifted once again. You don't remember standing, but now you're gliding forward, and the stars underfoot blur into a ribbon of soft light, a golden stream winding toward something more quiet than silence, more still than stillness. Ahead, a low hill rises, smooth, circular, topped with something glowing softly, domed and round, like a pearl half buried in sand. You approach, drawn by warmth that isn't heat, and as you reach the base, the entrance appears. A stone archway, veined in gold. Carved above it, a single symbol, a spiral wrapped in flame. You don't need to know what it means. You feel it in your breath. This is the temple of inner stillness. Inside, the air changes. It's not scented, not even warm or cool. It's balanced, a perfect breath wrapped in golden light. The walls curve gently inward as if holding you. The floor is soft beneath your bare feet, padded with something like sand, but softer. You sink slightly with every step, and it grounds you. Not in a do your taxes way, in a you are stardust with a nervous system and it's okay way. In the center of the temple, a circle of cushions. You move to the center, sit, or rather collapse in the most elegant, soul-weary kind of way. Here's the odd thing. The silence in this temple is so full, it almost has a flavor. You taste peace in the back of your throat, and it tastes like nothing, which is everything. You close your eyes, your breath slows again, then something curious happens. You hear a voice, not external, not booming from the sky. It's inside you, and it's your voice, only deeper, calmer, and somehow ancient. It says, you don't have to think to be real. You don't have to solve to be worthy. You can just be. You exhale, and that sound echoes softly through the chamber like a warm bee. In the far corner of the room, a soft flicker. Another figure sits there, cloaked in simple linen, head bowed. You don't speak. They don't either. But the silence is a conversation. And then they move slowly, raising one hand and pointing to the wall behind you. You turn. It's not a wall anymore. It's a window, but not to the outside world, to memory, to your inner landscapes. You see flickers of yourself, laughing, crying, dancing in the kitchen, hiding in bathroom stalls to catch your breath. You see childhood naps on scratchy couches. You see the first time you ever relaxed completely, maybe floating in a pool, or watching clouds until they blurred. All of it is you. And none of it is wrong. You lie back, the cushion molding to your every curve like a soft, golden whisper. The dome overhead begins to glow brighter, not harsh, not buzzing, just radiant. And slowly, symbols begin to spiral out from the center. Geometric, strange, but deeply familiar, like the shapes you doodled in notebooks once. Daydreaming, like the dreams you forgot when your alarm screamed. And here's the twist. These symbols move, not animated, alive. They swirl gently, syncing with your breathing. With every inhale, they spin outward. With every exhale, they curl back in. It's hypnotic. And soon, you're not even thinking about breathing. You're just being breathed. There's a story tucked somewhere in ancient Indian mysticism of Yoga Nidra, the sleep of the yogis. It's not just a nap, it's a conscious descent into sleep without losing awareness. They said advanced yogis could enter a state so deep, so still, they could slow their heart to the pace of a sleeping animal in winter. Historians still argue whether this was truly meditation or a proto-scientific method of rest. Whatever it was, it feels like this. You feel yourself slipping beneath the thinking, still conscious, still you, but quieter, deeper. The temple breathes with you, and somewhere faintly you hear chanting, not words, just tones, rising, falling, wrapping around you like soft sheets. And the figure in the corner, they're gone. In their place, a small bundle wrapped in linen. You approach, open it. Inside, a mirror, but not one that reflects your face. It reflects your glow, not ego, not beauty, light, the soft golden glow of your resting self, the you who exists even when you do nothing. You close the mirror gently, tuck it into your chest. It vanishes into you like a key sliding into the right lock. And in that moment, you dissolve, not in a scary way, in a you become mist in sunlight way. You become breath, you become hush, You become golden stillness itself. The dome overhead pulses one final time, then fades, and the walls begin to fall away, not crumble, dissolve. The temple melts into stars. The stars swirl into clouds. The clouds become soft ground beneath your weightless form. You are lying on something familiar. A raft? No. A bed. A real one? Hard to say. It feels like all beds you've ever loved rolled into one. Safe. Scented like just washed sheets, and someone humming 2 rooms away. And from somewhere beyond the stars, you hear a whisper, not a fact, not a truth, just a wish. May you rest like the earth between seasons. And with that, even your bones seem to sigh. Your breath softens. The journey hasn't ended, but the searching has. The bed or the cloud or the golden nothingness you're floating on drifts. Not quickly, not aimlessly. It moves with the calm certainty of a planet orbiting something warm and old. Above you, a ceiling of soft starlight. Below you, a sea of mist so dense and still, it almost feels solid. You're sailing across it, body weightless, mind surrendered, heart humming in a key that wasn't on any piano you've ever heard. You are not asleep, but you are far beyond awake. Here, in this final place, everything that was you, the noise, the pace, the lists and loops and Google Calendar alerts has dropped off like loose petals in wind. This is beyond the horizon. No more doorways, no more bridges, just horizon. It stretches endlessly in front of you, a soft, golden curve that somehow glows without ever getting closer, like a warm mirage that you know you'll never reach and don't need to. Because it's not a place, it's a state. You let yourself sink deeper into your breath. The air around you smells like sleep itself. Something between baby shampoo and the first 5 minutes after it rains. And then a soft vibration, not external, not alarming. It hums from somewhere in your chest. You look down. There's a mark on your skin now, right where your ribs meet. It glows faintly, a spiral wrapped in light. You recognize it. It's the same symbol carved over the temple of stillness. Only now it lives on you. Or maybe it was always you, and you're just now soft enough to notice. You reach toward it, not to touch, just to honor. And the symbol pulses once, then softens. A hush falls, and into it, a sound begins to rise. Footsteps, not approaching, walking beside you. You glance sideways, and there, walking across the mist as if it's solid, is a man in long robes, scribbling something onto a floating scroll. His eyebrows are expressive. His sandals are dusty. He mutters something about forgetting how gravity works in dream space. He stops, notices you. Oh, hello. Didn't mean to intrude. You smile. He adjusts his robes and adds, I'm doing some sleep cartography. You blink. Sleep what? Mapping the edges of dreamscapes, borders of the unconscious mind. Quite fascinating. You wouldn't believe how many naps intersect with Plato. Of course they do. He tilts his head. You know, there's a theory that some ancient philosophers sleepwalked on purpose, believing their souls could solve problems while the body wandered. Historians still argue whether it was ritual or just insomnia with a toga. He shrugs. Either way. Lovely night for it, yes. He tips his scroll your way. On it, gentle loops, circles, stars, and, wait, is that your golden bridge? He nods. You've walked a long way. You start to respond, but then he vanishes, just like that. The mist ripples where he stood, then settles. You lie back again, smiling in that, well, that was weird but nice kind of way only dreams can make feel logical. And then you feel it, a shift in the air, a slow ting in your cells. Time dissolves. You are not thinking, not recalling, not waiting. You are simply here. A breeze brushes your cheek, and you see something in the distance. A faint, glowing figure standing at the far edge of the horizon, cloaked in golden mist, silent, still. You feel no fear, only familiarity. You recognize the posture, the shape, the light, and then it clicks. It's you, not you now, not past you. A version of you that knows how to rest without guilt, who knows how to feel without drowning, who remembers how to dream without controlling. They nod at you, then turn and dissolve into the golden horizon. No words, no finale, just knowing. You lie there, still, inside the softness, and the world shifts again. Now, you are floating inside a cocoon of glowing threads. They wrap gently around your arms, your spine, your breath. Not tight, not binding. More like a lullaby written in fabric. The sky above you opens into a spiral, and stars begin to fall, but not fast, not dangerous. Us. Like petals, like snow, one lands on your forehead, it melts, and you suddenly remember the smell of your grandmother's soap. Another lands on your fingers. You remember laughing so hard with someone you forgot to keep your guard up. Each falling star is a memory, not the loud ones, not the photos, the soft ones, the ones tucked into muscle memory, the ones stored in sighs. You realize you're not losing consciousness, you're returning to it. Sleep isn't absence, it's arrival. And now you are ready. Your body has melted into breath. Your breath has slowed into stillness. Your stillness has whispered itself into the dark. The golden light pulses once around you, a final exhale, then peace, complete. And just before everything fades, you hear your own voice from somewhere deep inside. I am safe, I am still, I am golden. And then darkness, the soft, sacred kind. The kind where dreams don't just visit, they stay. You've gone far tonight, across glowing gardens and gentle bridges, through golden rivers, whispering trees, ancient rituals, and softened echoes of your deepest self. And now, here you are, not trying, not chasing, just being. Let your body sink even further now. Feel the last hints of tension melt away, like the final footprints on a quiet beach at dusk. Let your breath drift in and out, like waves that don't need you to watch them. You've done enough, more than enough. No thought left unthought, no muscle left clenched, no worry left carrying weight. Even the golden light has curled up beside you, not to lead, not to push, just to stay. There's nothing left to do, nothing to fix, nothing to figure out. You're safe. You're home. And this rest, it's yours. So let it have you. Let sleep rise like the tide, slow and soft and certain. And as you drift, know that this golden stillness lives in you always. You only need to close your eyes and return. Good night. Sleep deeply. Sleep well. Sleep golden.